Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to Counsel of the Day with Shanrae. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Counsel of the Day with Shanrae. This is my month for the Love series for the month of February in honor of Love Month. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As you come in, please share. Welcome, welcome to Teresa, Camilla. Good, welcome, welcome. I do not own the rights to this song. It's Jodeci's Love You for Life. I do not own the rights to this song. Good evening, good evening, good evening. We're going to listen to this for a few minutes and then I'm going to move on. This is one of my favorite songs here. Yes. People don't believe in love anymore, but I do. I believe in love. And the people that are on here, I believe y'all believe in love too. Ooh, love. Ooh. Okay, we'll pick up with that at the end. Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome. Welcome to the Counsel of the Day with Shanrae. For this month is our love series, and we have 4 weeks of delving in and getting into love and different topics like that. As you come in the room, please share. I'm multitasking right now, so please pardon me as I'm multitasking. I'm trying to share as I go on. I don't know what's going on here, but I am sure. There we go. I'm going to share, and you share too as we go along. So before we get started, I want to go on and read my my disclaimer. I want to get that out of the way, and then we're going to move on. And you all know that this is an open forum. So as we get started, please feel free. Feel free to ask questions. I will also bring someone in if needed. I'll bring you in. Want to get that out. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me. And you all know that this is it's an open forum. If you want to come in, I will bring you in that this evening. Okay. So my disclaimer says to please be aware that due to the nature, I need to open this for a minute. Excuse me, so I can read this a little bit more. So I hope that okay. So please be aware. Excuse me. Please be aware that due to the nature of the technology that we are using, there can be no assurance of confidentiality when using this online service. It should also be noted that due to changes in policies, that all replies are to be used as advisory and informationally only and will not constitute an official, I'm sorry, I'm using double screen, so I'm moving kind of slow, and will not constitute an official determination. So information provided by counselors, which is myself, or any other counseling service, are subject to the limitations of current and available material. The final responsibility for successfully achieving a goal a goal rests with you, the individual. So information online is designed to be helpful. However, this information does change frequently, and it is recommended that the people that are listening, will consult other physicians, other specialists, or other religious leaders to aid in your overall behavior wellness. So we did get this out of the way, and let me go on and pull my screen over just a little bit. Again, welcome to the Love series on tonight. We are starting our 3rd series, and we're talking about, excuse me, give me one moment. We are talking about love defined on tonight. So I would like to also start with, you all know I start with my scriptures. Hello, I want to acknowledge some people that have come in. Miss Annetta LaFlan, Angela Kay, Danielle, Corinne Vaughn, and Tamika Cotwell. Good evening, everybody. So glad to have you all on this evening. So let's start with our scripture. Okay, and hold on, because I picked up the wrong one. Let's see something. I have all of my notes. Give me 1 minute. I have all of my notes here. So Here we go. No, and it's still picking up the wrong one for some reason. Give me one moment, please. Sorry. Here we go. Give me one moment, and I don't know why it's picked up the wrong one, but it happens. Y'all know that things happen, and it's quite all right. Here we go. Let me open this. I'm going to open this just a little bit if you don't mind. And you know how people like to tag you when you're doing something else. They are really tagging me tonight. Give me one moment. So, love to find. Here we go. All right. And it's still picking up the wrong one for some reason. Okay, give me 1 minute. I don't know what's going on, but you know, when we talk about love. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right, so we're going to start with our scripture. The topic this week is called Love Defined. Let me close this. Move this over a little bit. Okay, here we go. All right, so our scripture topic is 1 Peter 4:8, and it's the New International Version, and it says, above all, love each other. This is the New International Version. So above all, love each other deeply, because love covers a multitude of sins. This is not my saying. This is the Bible saying. I am a Christian counselor. So hi, Trianta, how are you? I am a Christian counselor, so I do stand on biblical standards and biblical lifestyle. So again, our scripture comes from 1 Peter 4:8, chapter 4, verses 8, the New International Version. And again, I'm going to read it one more time. It says, above all else, love each other deeply, because love covers a multitude of sins. So I like to start out with defining things. And if you all have any questions, please jump in. Please jump in and we'll go from there. But the definition that I got from love is an intense feeling of deep affection. Number 2 is a great interest and pleasure in something, which is a noun. And number 3 says it feel a deep romantic or sexual attachment to someone. This is the definition of love that I got from the Webster's Merriam Dictionary. So I want to jump in because we only have 30 minutes. Oh my gosh, I forgot to set my timer. Okay, see, I had a long day, guys. Give me 1 minute, but I forgot to set my timer. So I'm going to set it now for 30 minutes. Here we go. And that is very unusual because I always do things by a timer. So here we go. We got our timer started. I set it for 30 minutes. Here we go. All righty then. Okay, so I want to talk about 8 different types of love. Feel free to chime in if you want to. And you know, I love life experience because life experience is the best teacher. It really is. I want to talk about 8 different types of love. The first type of love is eros, or erotic love. Eros, and I'm going to spell that for you, E-R-O-S. Eros, or erotic love. And this is the first kind of love, which is named after a Greek god, you know, of love and fertility. So eros is the first kind of love. Eros or erotic type of love. The second type of love is philia. And I'm going to spell that for you because these are these are Greek words. So they're a little different. They spelled a little different than the English, you know, the English terminology. So philia is P-H-I-L-I-A. And that is affectionate type of love. So the first love is an eros love or erotic love. The second one is a philia love, which is affectionate type of love. The third type of love is storage. It's called storage. William Chipper said, preach. The third type of love is called storage. And I'm going to spell that S-T-O-R-G-E, storage, or a familiar type of love, which like a love between mom and dad, your children, you know, like that type of love, storage. Then we have ludus. That's our fourth type of love, ludus, L-U-D as in David, U-S, ludus love, or it's called a playful type of love. So y'all could define that any way y'all want to, a playful type of love, flirty type of love, whatever like that. Y'all can define it whichever way you want to. Okay, so that is 1, 2, 3. That's our fourth. 1, 2, 3, fourth type of love. Our fifth type of love is called mania or mania. And a lot of y'all know what that is. Mania type of love, which is an excessive type of love. And that's not too much of a that's not a healthy love. But that is our fifth type of love, mania. M-A-N-I-A, which is an excessive type of love. Number 6 is, it's called pragma. P-R-A-G-M-A, pragma type of love, which is an enduring love, an enduring type of love. So that's our 6th love. Our 7th love is called philosia. Philosia. I'm going to spell it because it's a Greek terminology. So it is P-H-I-L-A-U. T-I-A. A philosia type of love is called a self-love, which that's a good love. That's a great love, you know, for self-love. And the last love is agape. And a lot of us are familiar with this terminology, agape love, which is a selfless type of love. That's the type of love that as Christians, we affiliate our Christian relationship with Christ as an agape type of love. So I'm going to go over the 8 different types of love once again. We have number 1, eros, which is an erotic love. Number 2 is philia, which is an affectionate type of love. Number 3 is storage, which is a familiar, a family type of love. We have our 4th love, which is ludus, which is a playful type of love. We have mania, the 5th love, which is excessive type of love. And then we have pragma. Pragma is an enduring type of love. Philosia is a self-loving, and agape is a selfless love. So I want to go into, I want to explain about the 4 unique forms of love that are found in the Bible. And they are communicated through these four of these Greek words, which is eros, storage, philia, and agape love. So we're going to explore these different types of love, which is characterized by a romantic type of family love, brotherly love, and then God's divine love. So I'm going to move it on because we don't have a lot of time. And I like to read, you know, y'all know by now that I do a lot of research. So a lot of my studies come from research. And hi, Hashim. Hi, Reggie Campbell. How are you? I'm going back and forth between my technology. So I have split screens and everything like that. So please forgive me if I don't see you exactly right away. But I want to cover these, give you a deeper definition of these eight different types of love before we close out. And I hope I make it before this 30 minutes is up. So it says that everyone seems to be hankering, I'm going back and forth, hankering after a romantic type of love. But few of us realize that far from being timeless and universal, romantic love is a fact. Is in fact a modern construct, one that emerged in tandem with the novel in Madame Bovary's 1856, which is a novel, which tells us that Emma Bovary only found out about romantic love through the refuse of old lending libraries. So this is where this romantic type of love kind of comes from. So damsel, love and lovers, a lot of times it's just all situated around damsels that were in distress, swooning in lonely lodges or postilions or something on the road, or you know, have horses in it. And in this scenery, if you could kind of just think about this scenery here with horses and all kinds of stuff, gloomy forests, and they have troubled hearts and vows, and they saw Cinderella and Snow White. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And then all of a sudden, this awesome nightingale or this gentleman, brave gentleman, who wrestles lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. They invariably well dressed and they handsome and all this stuff. They swoon in and they rescue the woman. So, but there are many other ways to love, not all of which are consistent, or consonant with romantic love. So by preoccupying ourselves with this romantic love, we risk neglecting the other types of love that are more stable or readily available, and that may especially in the longer term prove more healing and more fulfilling. So I'm going to go over these 7 types of love here. I'm sorry. I'm going to go over these 7 types of love. I'm sorry. Someone just called. They just called. Thurman said, teach on love. He said, come horseness. Yes, Thurman, the horses. Yes, and all of this. Y'all, you know, we were taught to our knight in shining armors, you know what I'm saying? And reality is never a part of this with love. But love goes so much deeper than just that romantic thought of love. So let's start with the Eros love. So Eros love is a sexual or passionate love. I'm going to say this again. And it is a type that's most akin to our modern construct of romantic love. And in Greek mythology, it is a form of madness that is brought about by one of Cupid's arrow. You know, we've all seen the cartoons. So the arrow breaches us and we fall in love. And did Paris with Helen leading to, you know, the Trojan War and downfall of Troy and all this stuff. But in modern times, Eros love has been amalgamated with the broader life force. Something that's akin to Schopenhauer's will, a fundamentally blind process of striving for survival and for reproduction. So Eros has also been contrasted with logos or reason, and Cupid painted as a blindfolded child. So that's what Eros love is mostly about. I'm going to move on to this philia love. Now, is Eros love wrong? No, it's not. No, it's not, because I strongly believe that whoever you love, there has to be some kind of passion there. If you're loving them and you're married to them, or, you know, well, we believe in marriage. But when you're engaged to be married or something like that, I believe in Eros love, because there has to be a passion there. You got to be passionate about each other. But, you know, everybody don't marry for the same thing, for that same type of love. There are different forms of love. So we're going to move on to philia, number 2. So the hallmark of philia is called a friendship, is a shared goodwill type of love. So Aristotle believed that a person can bear goodwill to another to one of these three reasons: that he or she is useful, and that is he is pleasant, and above all that he is good, and that he is rational and virtuous. So friendships founded on goodness are associated not only with mutual benefit, but also with compassion, companionship, dependability, and trust. We're talking about philia type of love now. So for Plato, these are both scholars, Aristotle and Plato. The best kinds of friendship is that which lovers have for each other. And it is a philia born out of Eros. So it's born out of that passionate romantic type of love, but it's philia. It turns, you know, you have that friendship and that loyalty, and that in turn feeds back into the Eros, which is that passionate type of love, which to strengthen and develop your love for each other, transforming it from a lust for possession into a shared desire for a higher level of understanding of the self, the other, and the world. In short, philia transform Eros love from a lust for possession into an impulse for philosophy. So real friends seek together to live truer, fuller lives by relating to each other authentically and teaching each other about the limitations of their beliefs, and the defects in their character, so which are far greater source of error than more rational confusion. So they are in effect each other's therapists, because love does cover a multitude of sins. They're each other's therapists, and in that much it helps to find a friend with some degree of openness, articulacy, and insight, both to change and to be changed. Okay, so that was the familiar type of love, which they said it comes, it's developed out of that eros love, which is that erotic type of love, which is that passionate love. So now we're going to move on to the storge. The storge, which is a familial type of love, a family type of love. I'll put it that way. So it is a kind of philia pertaining to the love between parents and their children, and it differs from most philia in that it tends, especially with younger children, to be unilateral or asymmetrical. So more broadly, storge type of love is the fondness born out of family or familiarity or dependency, and unlike eros or philia, does not hang on our personal qualities. So people in early stages of a romantic relationship often expect unconditional storge, but they find only the need of independency of eros, and if they are lucky, the maturity and fertility of the philia type of love. Given enough time, eros tends to mutate into storge, which again is that dependency type of love. So storge, that's the third love. Storge is more so affiliated with parents and children, siblings, stuff like that. So I'm going to now move on to the agape type of love. Ooh, these people are hitting me up. Y'all hear it. I'm going to move on to the agape type of love, which us Christians, we are very familiar with this. We are so familiar with agape type of love. And I'm moving quick, guys, because we only have 30 minutes. We have less than that now. So, Lord Jesus, these people are hitting me up. Okay, so agape love is a universal type of love, such as the love for strangers, nature, or God. So unlike storge, it does not depend on the filiation of family, also called charity. Charity by Christian thinkers. Agape love can be said to encompass the modern concept of altruism, defined as an unselfish concern for the welfare of others. So recent studies link altruism with a number of benefits. And in the short term, altruism leaves us with a euphoric feeling, the so-called helper's high, in the longer term. And it is associated with better mental and physical health. So as well as longevity. So at a social level, altruism serves as a signal of cooperative intentions, and also of resource availabilities, and so of mating or partnering potential. So let me make sure that mating and partner. It also opens up a debt account, encouraging beneficiaries to reciprocate with gifts and favors that may be of much greater value to us. So let me finish reading. Then those with which we feel able to be a part of. So more generally, altruism or agape love helps to build and maintain the psychological, social, and indeed environmental fabric that shields, sustains, and enriches us. And so given the increase in anger and division in our society and the state of our planet, we could all do with quite a bit more of agape love. And again, us as Christian believers, we know that agape love is essential. It's an essential part of our living, of our lifestyle. So I'm going to move on because our time is moving by quickly, and I want to open up the floor, for questions or anything. Number 5 is ludus, the ludus love. So ludus is a playful or uncommitted type of love. You all read between the lines. It can involve activities such as teasing and dancing, or moreover, flirting. seducing, and conjugating. So the focus on fun and sometimes also on conquest with no strings attached. So ludus relationships are casual, undemanding, and uncomplicated. But for all of that, can be very long lasting. So ludus type of love works best when both parties are mature and self-sufficient. Problems arise when one party mistakes ludus love for eros love, whereas ludus love is in fact much more compatible with philia type of love. Now, there's one show that we've seen for years that came on called Sex in the City, where we had, our 4 different girlfriends, and Samantha was very, very, very much like this ludus type of love, uncommitted and all of that, and she really made that very open with her character on Sex in the City. She made this type of love, that flirtatious type of love, that uncommitted type of love. She made that type of love or whatever very, very, very something. She made it something that people definitely wanted to start doing. It's okay to just be free, not to each your own. What if you do that, you do that. But just, you have to be mature enough to know the difference between this type of love, ludus love, which is a uncommitted type of love, versus the eros love. So let's move on to number 6, which is pragma. The pragma type of love is a kind of practical love that's founded on reason or duty and one's longer term interest. So sexual attraction takes a back seat in favor of personal qualities and compatibilities with this type of love. They both have shared goals. Now, I've heard for years how some people marry for business first. They were compatible in business. It was a business venture. It worked for them. They were compatible. They can live better together. They can meet their goals together. So this is that type of love, that pragma type of love. That's in one sense. In the days of arranged marriages, pragma love must have been very common. Although unfashionable, it remains widespread, most visibly in certain high-profile celebrity and political pairings or marriages. So many relationships that start off as eros or ludus, they end up as various combinations of a storge or a pragma type of marriage. So pragma may seem opposed to the ludus type of marriage, but the two can, the two can coexist, with the one providing a counterpoint to the other. So in the best of cases, the partners in the pragma relationships agree to turn a blind eye or even a sympathetic eye, as in the case of Simone de Beauvoir or Jean-Paul Sartre or other people. They just choose to just say, well, we're living together and that's it, and whatever, this is our business venture and that's it. And if that works for people, then that works for them. Some people, they have long-lasting marriages from this type of pragma type of love. I'm still a big type of eros. I mean, you got that with me. I gotta have passion. I gotta have love. I have to have all of that other stuff in there too. The familiar. Let me go back. Agape mostly. Storge. Let me go back. The eros type of love, the philia type of love. I have to have those. So I'm gonna move on to the philatia type of love. Philatia love is a self-love which can be healthy or unhealthy. So unhealthy self-love is akin to hubris, which is in ancient Greece, a person could be accused of hubris if placed himself above the gods, or like certain modern politicians, above the greater good. So many believe that hubris led to destruction or nemesis. So today, hubris has come to mean an inflated sense of one's status, abilities, or accomplishments, especially when accompanied by haughtiness accompanied by arrogance. It as it disregards the truth. Hubris promotes injustice, conflict, and enmity. So healthy self-love is akin to self-esteem, which is our cognitive and, above all, emotional appraisal of our own worth relative to that of others. So more than that, it is the matrix through which we think, feel, and act, and reflect and determine our relation to ourselves, to others, and to the world. So self-esteem and self-confidence do not always go hand in hand. In particular, it is possible to be highly self-confident and yet to have profoundly low self-esteem, as is the case with many performers and celebrities. And unfortunately, we've just experienced that once again this week with the death of a very well-known actor, where there was some things going on with him self-esteem wise. But I'm telling you, just talented out of the wazoo. So people with high self-esteem do not need to prop themselves up with externals such as income, status, or notoriety, or lean on crutches such as alcohol, drugs, or sex. So they are able to invest themselves completely in projects and people because they do not fear failure or rejection. Of course, they suffer hurt and disappointment as everyone else, but their setbacks neither damage nor diminish them. So owing to their resilience, they are open to growth experiences and relationships. Tolerance of risk and quick to joy and delight, and accepting and forgiving of themselves and others. So in closing, there is, of course, a kind of porosity between the 7 types of love that I just talked about, which keep on seeping and passing into one another. For Plato, love, who was one of the greatest theologians in the world, Plato, love, hold on, I just lost my place. Love aims at beautiful and good things, because the possession of beautiful and good things are called happiness. And happiness is an end in itself. Of all the beautiful and good things, the best, most beautiful, and most dependable is truth or wisdom, which is why Plato called love not a god, but a philosopher. Okay, so he whom love touches not walks in darkness. Let me say that again. He whom love touches not walks in darkness. Okay, so I'm going to open up right now for anybody that wants to talk about maybe the type of love that they have lived with, that they've experienced, maybe that they themselves are they recognize that the type of love that they desire, or maybe even in a relationship that they're having right now. And I am going to go over well, it's 8 different loves again. The first one, let me I gotta move because I'm doing so many different screens, is eros love, which is an erotic love. And that's the first kind of love. That's that passionate type of love. The second one is philia, which is an affectionate type of love. Storge is a family type of love. Ludus is a playful, flirtatious type of love. And let me go back with this. Ludus, I think being playful and flirtatious is awesome in a relationship. But where I feel it's not so healthy is where it's the non-commitment in it. It kind of, messes with stuff. I'm sorry, I'm going back and forth. I'm looking so I'm sorry if I'm not looking directly into the camera. We have the mania type of love, which is not healthy at all. That's that obsession, that obsessive type of love. A lot of us remember Fatal Attraction, that movie growing up. That was that mania type of love. Terry Rita. Okay, I'm gonna read hers in a minute. So we remember the movie Fatal Attraction, which was not that mania type of love was shown there. That was not a healthy love at all. Then we have the pragma love, which is an enduring type of love, and which is a lot of times you see that with older veteran type relationships, where you have that they just endure. They're in it. They're in it. That's it. The pragma, that's the pragma type of love. The philosia type of love is self-love, which can be good if you're not too self-centered or narcissistic with it. And the agape, that last one is that agape love. That agape love, which is that selfless love, which we all can use that. Miss Terry Rita, I'm going to read this. Miss Terry Rita said, "Good evening, sweetie." Okay. Okay, thank you, Miss Terry. Thank you. Is there anyone else that that has anything that they want to talk about, the type of love that maybe you've even given, and maybe you didn't realize that maybe you were stuck in this type of love, and whether it was good, bad, or indifferent? Is there anyone that wants to kind of talk or give a little insight on the type of love that they may have experienced? And I don't see anything. My time is almost up. So these are the 8 different types of loves that I wanted to talk about. This evening, and I just hope that this touched somebody. We're on a love series. I'm on a limited time frame, so I can't really go into a lot of in-depth things. But if there's a question or anything that you want to ask or you want to talk about, I am going to give my email address and type it on here. And you can email me, and I will get back to you if there's something that you want to talk about. If it's something that you can't talk about openly. I just put my email address. If there's a question that you want to talk about, is there anything that you have anything to say? I'm sorry, I'm doing so many different things here. So, well, I'm going to end it because our 30 minutes are definitely up. And I really hope and pray that you all got something out of this evening. I'm going to put my theme music back on. And I'm going to, here we go. And I will see you all on Thursday night. I'm going to finish Do You Believe in Love? You all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Tonight, this is our love series. I just got in and out because I needed to give you the foundation of love, and then our topics are going to move on from there. Our topics are going to get good and juicy this month, and we're going to delve into some stuff. Love, is it love? Is it lust? Is it something different? What is it? Is it a possession? What is it? We're going to delve into this, but I have to give foundation, and everything I do is research. So I want you all to have a good evening. I don't see any questions that has come. Hold on. I don't see any questions. So that's okay. It's okay. I'm going to put something up here. Let me put something up here, excuse me. And then we're going to end this for the evening. But again, I know that we have to get right back into the swing of being on this for this month. And before we know it, this month will be over with. But I'm going to put this on here. And and I hope that you all have a blessed evening. But I'm going to end it with my theme song. I do not own the rights to this, but this is one of my theme songs for this month. And I'm waiting. One of my favorite songs. Come on. Oh boy. Okay, I have been challenged this evening. This is so unusual. I have been challenged this evening. And that's our timer. And we are up. I have been challenged this evening. This is a mess. Let's see if it'll work. Well, I guess it's not going to work for me. Hold on for a minute. So we're going to leave on this. I do not own the rights to this song, but this is one of my theme songs for tonight. It's about love, y'all. looking for some questions? Okay. All right. And the promise that it gives. All right. Good night, everybody. I'll see y'all Thursday. This is our theme song for the month.